We're through yet another draft, and once again, according to what the media says and everything you read, all these players are going to pan out. Instead of the 35 or 40 out of a whole class, pretty much everyone is in the clear this time. Welcome back to the two-line pass. Since everyone else is focused on why a player might make it and show off only the plays where they succeed, I'll try to provide a more balanced perspective.
I'm just going to do a quick history lesson.
In 1989, Lou Lamoriello was the general manager of the New Jersey Devils. They drafted
With the 5th pick overall, Billy Guerin. Oliver Wahlstrom is this generation's version of Billy Guerin, the way he plays the game. This is a very good pick.
I think he's a better goal scorer than Billy Guerin. But Philip Zadina, when I talk about a really well-rounded offensive player, David Pastrnak comes to mind. And for the Detroit Red Wings, they're looking at a player that I think they can really hope to be in their lineup at the beginning of next season.
I love this guy as a player. I really think he's going to be a good NHL player because he plays the game the right way.
Coaches love him. His dad's a scout for the LA Kings now.
Got tremendous vision, tremendous composure. His panic point is he doesn't have one. And he's got tremendous offensive upside. He's got a chance to be a quarterback-style defenseman in the National Hockey League. Not an overwhelming physical presence out there.
Rob Niedermeyer has been compared to Rangers captain Mark Messier.
I don't show those clips because I'm going to get everybody right 10 years down the line. I'm going to get people wrong too. But what I want to get right is elements. Well, I want the process to be good, the scouting process to be good. I want to do the right work on it. And if the players don't turn out 10 years down the line, well, that's too bad. I don't wish failure on anybody who doesn't earn it. I hope all these kids play. In case they don't, here might be why. And not to stifle conversation, but I know the blanket statement comments that you get if you cross into not so positive territory on prospects. So here's a little internet disclaimer, and away we go. Today on Everybody Plays, we're going to take a look at Philadelphia Flyers second-round pick Shane Vansaghi, a true freshman at Michigan State. All right, right off the draw, he's involved. Contact, stick in the lane, then shoves his check out the center. He's the winger, so he comes through and picks up the high guy on his wing. Doesn't chase him all over the world. He switches off, maintains his position. This is predictable for everyone. Fights for ice, going back up ice. We immediately get clues on how he does his business, right? We're seconds into this video, and look at how much contact we've had. Even going up ice there, he didn't find open ice and get into a foot race. Why? Well, because he can't. He's got heavy feet. But you'll see why I don't care about that at all, because he's taking you down with him. Going back the other way, again, feet aren't great, so you have to compensate. Look at him maintain the glide and maintain really good gap. Last couple videos, guys, with all due respect, weren't tracking the play and player movement nearly this well, even if it's subtle. Doesn't take much to make me happy sometimes. This is a terrific neutral zone route, presents a target that leads him into good ice. Clean pass catch in motion. At the line, he turns toes and attacks toes, but that's all right. He probably thought that D-man was going to bite inside. He immediately realizes that the D-man is coming with him, and he starts puck protection techniques to not have a ghastly turnover at the line. So he'll probably just put this in the corner and go after it. Whoa. Honestly, he sold me that he was going to one-hand that into the corner. Look at this D-man. He guessed right at the line, but he got pantsed right here. He waits and lures the one stopper to this plan to go by, allows his D to get into the zone, and this is just great awareness because he knows what he just did the player for. He knows he's got a minute to figure this out, and then he doesn't marvel at what he's done. He works inside into the shot lane to get the tip attempt. Okay, he's on the outside looking in at this puck battle. He's got no shot. Oh, man. He gets in there with a strong stick and takes the candy from the older D-man, puts it in the space where his guy can get it, tracks to the puck smartly. He gets it right back, and now the D-man on his back wants revenge on the true freshman. Tough luck, bud. He A-frames him. Absorbs the contact, walks with it, and then cycles back against the grain. No hesitation, rotates to the front of the net. Honestly, do I even need to continue with the rest of this game? This is already a player that I think is going to play. If you've seen some of my other videos from this year or last, you can see the night and day difference between Vansaghi and your regular compete guy, right? Like, it's the detail work. He has it already. He's not going to forget it. The foundation is there to build off of. Next shift here, bang. Excellent contact coming through the hands, closing off the defensive side of the puck. Very good contact. More of it as the puck gets ringed around to 4, wins that puck battle, keeps the puck, survives the contact, puts it right on the tape ahead. play tracks back the other way. He doesn't lose his head trying to manage all that ice. Has a little uh-oh moment with the guy going to the far post. Luckily that puck doesn't get through as he's covering there. Why didn't I have him higher on my list? I don't think the technicals are that great necessarily. The skating and the skill level aren't great now. So as a personal rule, I don't like to draft bottom 6 upside guys too high unless it's an impact 3C. But that's just my rule, and maybe I'll grow out of it. I assume he was in the 20s on a number of NHL lists, maybe late teens for Philly, given how they drafted. You see here, good idea that the feet are still heavy. He's a heavy player, though. That's the deal sometimes. I don't think it's a stopper. And frankly, if he had better skating in hands, he'd have gone top 10. But you see here, he takes the puck, runs into some trouble that he can't work out of. That's okay. Perfection isn't the bar. He doesn't sulk about it. He digs in. He gets on the right side of the puck, and he fights to make it right. Tracks back to the interior, and then once again puts the whammy on player 4, who has already had just about enough of Vansaghi, and it's probably only like 7:25 p.m. He's got a whole night of this coming up. But going back to it, I think you can find bottom 6 guys and bottom pair defensemen without a big asset cost. Draft picks are worth their weight in gold to me, so I try to find a little bit higher upside guys. But sometimes the foundation and the floor here are just so sturdy with this player and really quite elevated that you never know when one of these guys pops and becomes like a Mike Knuble type, where you can put him anywhere. He just becomes like a Swiss Army knife, or in this case, Swiss Army tank. It could happen. I'd rather play it safe and have this player lower. But I really like this player. It's a paradox, I guess. MSU, a little bit not engaged off the draw here, but look at how strong Vansaghi is on his stick here. This is a clean lift, and it causes the lefty to throw himself into the gutter. Vansaghi gets the puck in the wide lane, but he doesn't put it on the wall right away because he sees a dead end. He takes advantage of the space, holds the puck in the interior, and really flattens out the D-man. Even though he doesn't have the dot line to start, he starts to take back a little bit of the ice so that if that D-man flattens out, he can't close him off. A bad worker B gets slammed there. Vansaghi gets a clean entry. Then he buys time and completes a pass. He works to the front of the net, gets a tip. Maybe you saw a similar situation in the Horkoff video about being down in the fray. So you're either on the puck pursuit or you're F1 coming back. Not neither. Be engaged. Let's see. Immediately he's F1 going back in case his team doesn't get the puck. Then he finds the right ice to keep the play alive. Puck protection, buying time. Maybe that goes to the point there. Maybe it's a shot. Either way, this is all positive. Wraps it up with another good stick play. OSU is going to beat out the icing. Not a lot happens here. He's about to be in on F1. Good harassment. Forecheck is not man. It's a rotation. Nice job here. He approaches the pile. He approaches the pile smartly here. Good timing. Gets a disruption. And it's not a free out for OSU as a result of his work. All right, bad pass here. Tough to handle. Eventually, play is going to go back the other direction. Vansaghi doesn't get drawn into a bad decision just because the tempo increases. He picks up the biggest threat in sudden change hockey, then parlays it into a bracketing on the puck, which is great. Not a lot is going to happen here on the ice for a bit. It's funny sometimes how people look at the draft. Invariably, the picks right before you and the picks right after you attract attention, but that's not really the right gauge because that's not necessarily how your team had them. But in the beginning of the second round, there is some very unimaginative picks on defense in particular there for a while, and most of those guys probably won't have an impact in the NHL, I don't think. Washington took that Swedish forward. Doesn't do much for me. Looking around that area of the draft, not everybody, because there's some fun in there too. But if you look at the top half of the second round, there's some picks that I'm not a huge fan of. This is one of the better ones for my taste. I don't know every single player in that group, I'll admit, but I know most of them. I like this pick a lot from that particular perspective. Off the draw, he gets caught off guard by the Capitals draft pick who can really skate, but since he can't do much else but skate really well, this amounts to nothing. The forward on the puck here tries to shovel this back to Vansaghi, but he actually whiffed, and this gets banged back out to center. That's not Vansaghi's fault. Not much else is going to happen here the rest of this shift, but this is a player that really improved. I thought he improved as the season went on, but he really jumped up to this level of play. Like, you talk about a player, is it the right fit? Now you have all this freedom, right? You can go junior hockey, you can do anything you like, you can go NCAA. Boy, is this player just made for college hockey, and this Michigan State team is really on the rise. Again, positional integrity and discipline sees F1 and F2 ahead of them. MSU has this has the 1-1-3 on, protecting the lead, and Vansaghi's got to force the offside. Okay, coming up here, he's got to slide behind the heels of the D-man and present a target, but he loses the handle trying to outweight this prone D-man. Good showing of him getting off his center line, but this isn't good puck protection here. He thinks he can skate this out. He'll figure it out. He's very good at puck protection already. About as unforced of an error as you can get, and then there's a whiff and a spill up high. It's bad luck. He gets the retrieval. Folks may recall from the Zonin video how his neutral zone routes confused me. Not so here. Vansaghi doesn't skate in the way of the puck carrier. Instead, he churns outside to isolate the D while also allowing the puck carrier the center lane. That's exactly it. It's fairly mundane, but not all prospects are doing this. He plays the game with intentionality. He plays the game from inside out all over here. When coaches say play the game the right way, it's cliche a bit, but this is a component of playing the right way. It's a shift where he doesn't touch it, and his team doesn't necessarily get it, but he shows that he has a good process, and that's what's important when projecting players. And here we go, offensive zone faceoff, clean loss. Well, until Vansaghi dirties up that clean loss, that's a bad bounce on the point man to quickly turning that loss into possession. Very, very close. Play transitions back the other way. I think we get that he plays inside out hockey, so we'll fast forward through some of this, but there's been a lot of off the puck stuff in this game, and I just wanted to highlight his game isn't stuck to the wall. He's inside out all the way through. Watch as he catches the hard bank. This is just intended to be tinked out to center. He makes a tough catch, gets it pointed to the interior, and really improves the condition of the puck. And not for nothing, he bodies the guy that's trying to finish the hit on him and his exposed chest there. Positional discipline here. This will end up all the way down the ice. But we'll watch 23 support the breakout well, and then again, the right neutral zone route, right timing, right angle. It doesn't seem like much, but as we see in the other videos, first round picks don't necessarily get it. He'll stop up here and draw two players to him. That improves the condition of the play. Puck is going to come around to the right point, and this thing is zipped around. I couldn't have caught this puck if I had a pool skimmer. And the freshman stabs it, keeps his stride, A-frames the defender, walls him off, gets into a little bit of hot soup, but he stays with it. Puck comes back to him. He tells 9 to take a hike before the play ends up dying with someone else. 9, by the way, is 6'4", 215-pound, 22-year-old. So not nothing. So that's what you're getting. Maybe not going to blow the roof off, but he'll play. He's got all the makings of a really strong depth player. And if the offense comes through, which would be fantastic, if the offense comes through, then you're really cooking with a legit power forward.